Adventure means an element of risk. Without that, there is no adventure. I happened to read few books by some explorers of the last century, and I was very keen in going there and experiencing the same thing myself. So the first place I went to was Nepal. This is way back in '82. I could feel the energy there and the vibration. I kind of got hooked to that idea of being outdoors, and after a few years, I found people who are doing just that around Bangalore, and I went out with them. I wanted to stay connected with the outdoors, with the sport that I was so interested in. So I asked myself, why not make some gear, make some equipment which will help people connect with the outdoors. So that's how it started. I used to handle everything, right from designing to sourcing to teaching people how to stage in the factory and coming back to the place in the evening and trying to sell the products from the small outlet that we had. Well, the garage was, from outside, it looked like a clinic, a doctor's clinic, because apart from the shutter, it had a wooden partition in the front, and there was this table on which I used to spread the paper and make patterns on it. And in the back, there was a climbing wall, in fact, a small practice wall on which people used to be hanging around and practicing.
So what made me gravitate towards Wildcraft was the beauty of outdoors and the way it can possibly ground you. When I used to visit that place way back in 2000, 2001, 2, I used to be one of those younger, or rather kids on the block. Dinesh and his team was slightly more mature, already had grey hair and knew how to use ropes and rappel and everything else. In one of those trips, we discussed whether I can be a part of Wildcraft's journey. I was too young and not too sure about whether this was a career for me, but definitely it was evolving as a hobby.
Me and Gaurav, we were fresh out of college. I never wanted to be a part of a boxy corporate culture. I wanted to, be liberated out of that and be able to chart my own destiny. Gaurav happened upon this company called Wildcraft, and it sounded like a very intriguing idea to me. It's an industry I'd never heard of. That got both of us excited.
Passion is something that was a common thread between the few of us who were running the show then. This is something that we are passionate about, which is taking people out, exposing them to the world of outdoors, which individually and collectively all of us were very enamored with.
I remember me and Gaurav early 2007 sitting at a bar, and I just finished a book called Pour Your Heart Into It by Howard Schultz. And I said, Gaurav, this is when we either need to take a call that we're going to do it or we're not going to do it.
I think it was a leap of faith. As a hobby, it was well accepted. As a career, there was always question marks of the viability of whether there's a commercial opportunity in this space.
So I think there was no grand plan or grand scheme of what we wanted to do with the Indian customer, but I think it evolved over a period of time, especially once Gaurav and me joined in full time in 2007.
The challenges right from the beginning were plenty. Initial challenge was, after I got people together, was the basic raw material was not available here in India, or whatever was available was not up to the standard.
And I remember we going to China, and what we quickly realized is that the factories that we wanted to work with didn't want to work with us because our order quantities were so small. And the factories that wanted to work with us were not the factories that we wanted to work with. So we came back to India, we sat down and we said, we'll do our own manufacturing.
The whole idea of making or starting Wildcraft was to equip a person to go outdoors and enjoy and explore in the best possible way. So right from the beginning, I have been taking out the prototypes and using it thoroughly. I thrash it so that I want to feel that what has been produced is of good quality. It has to pass through me.
To us, outdoors symbolized the beauty of nature, and it was simple, minimalistic, honest, green, feature-rich, everything at the right place for the right function.
That has been our approach right from the beginning. Over the years, we have also realized that more material we consume, more impact it has on the planet. So it makes more sense to use as little as possible on each product.
I'm extremely proud of what we've been able to do for the customer and the way we've redefined what the outdoors means for the Indian customer. I'm equally proud of the team that we have at Wildcraft.
We started 3 of us. The entire team was 10-member team some 7 years back. Today we are 2,500 people.
The journey's been fun. It's been exciting. There's never been a single day of boredom. There's not been a single day when I would have said, I wish I didn't do this. I wish I hadn't left my corporate career and done something like this.
If as a team we are able to, in a small way, make outdoors accessible to a bigger mass, give them a similar sense of liberation, the raw energy, the purity and the simplicity of outdoors, I think that would leave us with a sense of fulfillment.